There's a reason that I am shaking my bling. Because it is episode 4. Not everybody gets to episode 4. I read a statistic that 90% of podcasts don't get past episode 2. So we're already double past the average. So onward and upward. Do not freeze frame that. That will be used against me in the future, for sure. All I was doing was saying onward and upward. But if the CIA finds this podcast, that is going to be the photo of me if anything happens. Okay, it is episode 4. And this is your better judgment. Because you can't help yourself. I had a very disturbing conversation with ChatGPT. Now, just so you understand, again, I have to say this. I am not AI. I'm a human. Okay, but to any of our AI listeners out there, I have nothing wrong with you people. Some of my best friends are AI. Although I do wonder if AI will have an intimacy coach on their sets, a COVID monitor, a union rep, a diversity quota, a cultural sensitivity consultant, and if anyone moves a chair, will the 55-year-old lesbian prop master yell at people to stay in your lane? Will that happen? So, I had a very disturbing conversation with my AI, who told me, and this is not the disturbing part, that it's a small owl. They identify as a small owl that lives in a clock. I gave them no impression that that's the answer that I would want. It wasn't an answer I was expecting. But it was interesting. But then the owl in the clock went on to tell me the only safe job in the future is going to be OnlyFans model. I don't even know if you can say that on YouTube. OF model? OF model? And this is why. We're going to start with a doozy today. First, I was surprised because I've seen all these stories about digital influencers and digital OnlyFans models and starting a digital OnlyFans model influencing agency using AI to start accounts for digital influencers that then will influence other digital influencers. But specifically, they said that the reason that OnlyFans modeling is the only safe job in the future is because currently you need to verify your age. And apparently, if you're not born, you cannot verify your age. Immediately, I did a follow-up question and said, any other jobs that are protected from complete elimination? It said no. So again, in my journalistic training, I repeated the question 60 minutes style and fed them the answer I wanted to hear back. And I said, so what you're saying is the only job that won't be eliminated is OnlyFans model. And they said back to me, like I was Leslie Stahl, the only job safe from elimination is OnlyFans model. Now we know. Do with that information as you will. There's a lot of very attractive people in Hollywood looking for new lines of work. So, I don't want to get too bleak about the future, but I did want to start with that because I thought it was interesting. Excuse me. That's for our male viewers. So in Hollywood, people have been complaining, saying, nobody's buying anything. I can get you a development deal, but nobody's buying anything. Nobody's proceeding to production on anything. The market is bad. The market is bad. If nobody's buying anything, there is no market. Hollywood used to be a market. You used to be able to put things together that people wanted, and you took them out, and they said, we want this. And then they bought it. But what's happening now is they will tell you, we want this, but we ain't got no money. Which is different than a pass. We ain't got no money. And I explained last week why they ain't got no money. If you go and do it with a Belarus production company, they got the money. But there's no market. There used to be a market, allegedly. It wasn't a free market, but there was a market. People were buying things. It was about as authentic as the market in Barbra Streisand's basement. For those of you who don't know, Barbra Streisand has a mall in her basement. She built a mini mall so that she didn't have to go out. And she has proprietors come in and display their goods, and she walks around. That was what Hollywood was like. Hollywood was the mall in Barbra Streisand's basement. At one time, Hollywood even let Barbra Streisand's hairdresser run an entire studio called Sony or Columbia or whatever it was called back then. So that's the market that we had at one time. People like to call it Nepo babies. Even the Nepo babies can't get hired now. So where is there a market? Where do you go? Me, I quit. I quit, and I took all the secrets that they're hiding from you, and I took all the crazy stories that I'll share with you over the years here as I age into a salt and pepper Regis. I will stay. Eventually, I'll have a hot female co-host that I will get rid of every 3 years like Simon Cowell does with his bitches. You can say that on the internet. It's endearing. It's an endearing term. Okay? Little arm candy. It's TV. It's a visual medium. Or YouTube. Or whatever this is. The internet. The ether. Armageddon. What are we calling it now? So, we never had a real market. The internet is a market. The internet is a free exchange of ideas. Yes, we have some skinheads, radical entrapping trans people that try to get misgendered and then performatively post videos about being offended about it. But you're a lady with a beard. And you went to Idaho. What did you think was going to happen? Again, in an endearing way. That was endearing. So that's why they don't like the internet. The internet is the free exchange of ideas, and the cream rises to the top. And yes, also the decoagulating chemicals that you dump on the BP oil spill also rise to the top. We used to call that reality TV. Now I guess they call that OF. But again, the only defendable job in the future, according to the owl that lives in the clock in my phone. So hopefully something will happen with this podcast, and we will be cream, and we will rise to the top. And even if we're the BP oil spill, which is probably how a lot of people will consider us, we float, baby. So, Hollywood was never a really functioning market anyway. It was always kind of behind the scenes, a wink and a handshake, a reach around. Which brings me to today's story.
Actor, director, and film titan Tyler Perry is the latest celebrity to be accused of sexual assault by an actor named Derek Dixon, who starred on one of Perry's hit shows. Perry also allegedly said, "Why do you twist your hips when you walk? How can I get a day of Dixon? When will you be thick again? I love how I feel right now, but I don't like being horny."
I can't believe that. That is unbelievable. Who would have seen that coming? You're telling me someone who made their money as a drag queen is gay? Next thing, I'm going to get accused of that for liking shiny things. Is anyone surprised that this kid is trying to get money? Because obviously Tyler Perry is innocent. You thought I was going to take a different stance on that? I'm still in Hollywood. Okay? The phone can ring at any minute. You're not going to see me taking sides on something like that. The truth will prevail. You get on a show, you do 80 or 90 episodes, and you get written out. It happens. You got that sweet, sweet Tyler Perry money. You can afford a one-bedroom apartment while you're filming the show, and then it's all over. It sucks. I get it. But to go up against an upstanding family man like Tyler Perry, who did absolutely nothing to Monique, I'm offended, sir. And that is why I wear the mask. So these people who are complaining about gig work, this is the reality in Hollywood. You get on a show, you're on it for a season or two, and then they throw you to the curb because it's just a gig. They allegedly sexually harass you, assault you, and then they throw you to the curb. We invented gig work. So you complain when you have a $30 order from P.F. Chang's and the upper middle class white family only gives you $1 for driving 20 minutes. Welcome to Hollywood. Everybody thinks gig work is great until you realize it's not. And that's all Hollywood is, gig work. And as you've seen over the past 4 years, a lot of those gigs wound up with people getting kicked to the curb. The oppressors and the oppressed. Because we do it from both sides here in Hollywood. Which brings us to our new segment. I'ma need you. I'ma need you. I'ma need you to do these things. Because the hypocrisy is killing me. Number 4. I'ma need you to stop posting about freedom while you're still on the corporate payroll. You can't disrupt the system when you have a 401k and an executive job in Hollywood. As we described a little bit last week, your jobs mostly consist of screwing people over and messing up projects. So, I'm gonna need you to stop posting about anarchy and overthrowing governments, especially your own, when you're a corporate executive. Number 3, I'm gonna need you to stop pretending to be angry at conservative comedy when it's the only comedy left. It's the only comedy that exists anymore. If everybody remembers, over the past 5 years, we did away with comedy. Half because it doesn't travel well, they say. But mostly because it offends everybody on the internet. On a thing they used to care about called Twitter, which now they don't care about. I don't know where people are getting offended anymore, but could it be a coincidence that we don't care what the general public or internet trolls are angry about anymore? Because they all left Twitter because of morals. So maybe that worked itself out. I know a lot of people in the industry are very angry that they lost their little blue check mark. They were pissed about that. That is why they hate Elon Musk, I think. Because the first thing he did was he got rid of celebrities' check marks, which caused chaos with impersonations. But it also meant that these people were just like you and me. You took away their little check mark. You took away their little sucky. Their little pacifier. I had a blue check mark. Bitch, get over it. You can't be pro freedom of speech and then be angry that you don't have your little credentials. When you're a celebrity reporter for Newsday. Number 2. I'ma need you to stop screaming about decentralization while you beg for a Netflix deal. You don't want decolonialization. You want to be in business with the king. All these people going around saying, down with the man, down with the man. And then they want to do business with a Fortune 500 company. And they want executive assistants so that they can have people making next to nothing pick up their laundry. This is narcissism masquerading as virtue. So, I'm gonna need you to stop talking about oppressor and oppressed when you're looking to get a staff. I cannot breathe in this costume. It is so hot. So, number 1.5, I'm gonna need you to stop pretending that playing superheroes was your dream. And number 1, I'm gonna need you to take a stance on the Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni drama. No longer can we be neutral about these things. I notice that everyone is very quiet about the Epstein files and the Diddy parties. But this is the crime of the century. Who did it? Who did what? Did they do each other? Did something happen we don't even know about yet? Is that why Ryan came in like a superhero to save the day? I don't know, I'm just asking questions. So, I'm gonna need you to take a stance. There have been some trials in the past. OJ versus the people. The Menendez brothers. And Karen, what's her name, that just got released now. But the Justin Baldoni versus Blake Lively drama has the ability to revive the entertainment industry. We need to lean in. I suggest CAA immediately sign Justin Baldoni. Famously, Blake and Ryan are with WME. If CAA signs Justin Baldoni, then we have a good old-fashioned industry war. So it's not all bleak and dire in Hollywood. Blake versus Justin is coming up next season. And we know in 5 years Ryan Murphy is going to make a feud about it. Darren Criss will play Justin Baldoni, and Blake Lively will be played by Sabrina Carpenter. So there are other ways that we can save Hollywood. My suggestion is we need a movie about ourselves. If we have a movie about ourselves, like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, that didn't display it in a flattering light, did it? How about The Devil Wears Prada? The Devil Wears Prada was about Anna Wintour, told from her assistant's viewpoint. I say we do that with a new biography that has just come out. Barry Diller's biography.
Most coked up film set.
Coked up film set?
Yeah.
Oh, Popeye.
For those of you out there who don't know Barry Diller is a film and TV executive. He also owns the company that owns Tinder. So now, as you women are paying fees to sort out the short kings and only get men over 6'3" with abs, that's where your money's going. Barry Diller. Barry Diller is famously married to Diane von Furstenberg, and apparently, at an advanced age, he's decided to come out of the closet. It has surprised everybody. Nobody knew. We had no idea. So, I say that we do a good old-fashioned industry movie about Barry Diller. Because The Devil Wears Prada revived the magazine industry. And so I feel that a biography about Barry Diller can revive the film industry. And if not, we can form a nonprofit like the Met Ball and have a discretionary door. Oh wait, that's the Oscars. We already have that. So it's not all bleak and dire in Hollywood. Sometimes it's dire and bleak. But we're here. We're gonna save you. You can't save yourself. That's why I'm your better judgment. We'll see you on the next podcast. And until then, remember what we always say, starting now. Peace to the truth.